The true meaning of the 144,000 is Alulu, which is Sumerian for lamb or person. This person incarnated in physical form, cloned or grafted, and stood on the mountain Zur called Zin, which is also spelt Sion, Swen, Zun, Enzu, which is often called Sin or Sinai, as in Exodus 19:1. In the third month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai. So this being stood on the mountain of Zun, that is America today, the mountain of devils and evil and adult people. A wicked nation, also referred to as a new Babylon in Revelation the 18th chapter and in the 9th chapter. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Revelation 18:10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Revelation 18:21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. This nation is America, home of the Amorites, that is one of the tribes of the Canaanites. And they're all in America, 144,000, all of whom have his father's name and Anu's name written on their foreheads. Revelations 14:1, and I looked, and, lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sion, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. They remembered or recollected, they had to be brought back to knowledge of Anu. This verse is speaking about a Mag-Urg, or a great craft, as you read about the 4 creatures around on ring, a disc shaped like a saucer craft, one of those that come from Nibiru. They're seeing what looks like lightning and they hear what sounds like thunder, yet it is the sound of voices. Revelation 4:5. They also see the 7 lights lit up in front of this throne, or the heaven or city. In Revelation 21:9, and there came unto me one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials full of the 7 last plagues, and talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. It is called the 7 angels, or the 7 lights, which are 7 smaller crafts manned by an Anunnaki called Denir. The one they see sitting on the throne is Re, Anu. Revelation 4:2, and immediately I was in the Spirit, and, behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And the 4 other crafts shams full of lights like eyes all around them. Revelation 4:6, and before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne, and round about the throne, were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. These same crafts are called beast in Ezekiel 1:10. As for the likeness of their faces, they 4 had the face of a man, and the face of a lion, on the right side, and they 4 had the face of an ox on the left side, they 4 also had the face of an eagle. And Ezekiel 10:14, and every one had 4 faces. The first face was the face of a cherub, and the second face was the face of a man, and the third the face of a lion, and the fourth the face of an eagle. And Revelation 4:8-10, and the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him, and they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, which was, and is to come. And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne, and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne. This is speaking about travel and time. The beings master time, being one for each hour, or 24 elders sitting in a circle like the face of a clock, time moving forward. Each means time submits to this great craft Nibiru. Its time zone is 3,600, which when multiplied by Ptah, Enki's sacred number, which is 40, which comes out to be the key 40 times 3,600 equals 144,000. The old tablets use the term, ma, for periods, as in time. Its meaning is something that completes itself, as in recycling, leaving and returning. On Earth man's time it's 24,000 miles, which is also the planet's circumference, again as an orbit or round circular structure. You'd get 24 hours as in a day, and we had 24 elders for the time zone of man on this planet. 1 year equals 1 complete orbit around its sun. And Bennu, Nibiru, completes 1 orbit every 3,600 years, or 40 shars, or 144,000 Earth years, for the 144,000 Earth people that will be taken in smaller crafts Hennu, shams, until the complete 144,000 have been raptured or taken. 12 times 12 times 1,000 equals 144,000. The Sumerian word shars means supreme ruler. It also implies a complete circle or complete cycle, as in sitting around the throne with the sun at its center. So the symbolic meaning in their Bible for the 144,000 is the return of Nibiru after 40 cycles of 3,600. That would be the true rapture or great lift, the great and dreadful day to take those Nuwapians who are prepared to return through Bennu, Nibiru, then on to Alin and then to Rizq. Their whole book of Revelation is symbolic. It is not a Christian book, it's an old tablet of prophecies that the Christians updated, plagiarized and changed, altered things around. They added and took away the name of the book and made it appear like it's a Christian book. It's a mystic book of dreams of the future based on the past. The books it is copied from are Daniel, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Psalms and Malachi. It's an attempt to explain all those books. These are the real 5 books: 1, Psalms, 2, Isaiah, 3, Ezekiel, 4, Daniel's and 5, Malachi. These are the real 5 or the Pentateuch, coming from the Middle English Pentateuch, from late Latin Pentateuchus, from Greek Pentateuchos, penta plus tuchos, implement, vessel, scroll case. And those books add up to the 5th chapter of the book of Zechariah, chapter 5 to 1 to 5. Then I turned, and lifted up mine eyes, and looked, and behold a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Then the angel that talked with me went forth, and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what is this that goeth forth. Here you have a flying roll, a cylinder-shaped craft. It's the 6th vision in that book as a symbol of the 6th chapter of Genesis when beings came to earth. 144,000 is Revelation chapter 7 to 1 to 8 speaks of the 4 angels. And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Reuben were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Aser were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Nephthalim were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zabulon were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph were sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin were sealed 12,000. These 4 angels are the 4 winds or crafts that protect Nibiru, the north wind, south wind, east wind, and west wind, here to protect the 144,000 and the holy tablets. They are symbolically called the tribes of Israel, as there were 12 for the 12 signs of the zodiac. The forming of the universe and galaxies is found in books of Job, Amos and Psalms, Job 9 to 9, which maketh Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the chambers of the south. Job 38:31, Canst thou bind the sweet influences of Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Job 38:32, Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? Or canst thou guide Arcturus with his sons? Amos 5:8, Seek him that maketh the 7 stars in Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. Psalms 104:20, Thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. 12 times 12,000 equals 144,000. Each tribe is symbolic of the many nations that the lost tribes of Nuwapians are now living amongst around the world, and Revelation chapter 7 verse 9 speaks of the stage we pass through as Nuwapians in our white robes, which we don for the opening of 7 seals. After this I beheld, and, lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne, and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, and palms in their hands. And Revelations 14 to 1 to 5 speaks of Ptah, Enki with Re, Anu, his name on their foreheads is Natstaru. The new song is Nuwapik, our new language of tones. The Nuwapik name is Nuwapu or Nuwapians, and our new but old way of life or science is Wu-Nuwapu. We speak no guile, no lies, no I think so, but all wise, right and exact, with right knowledge, right wisdom and the right overstanding, sound right reasoning, factology, the truth and nothing but the truth, so help us Ptah. It's all about when Pa Natstaru will return for the lost but now found tribe of Nuwapians. It's hidden symbolically in 144,000, which marks the 40 times that Nibiru will pass this way every 3,600 Earth years. 40 times 3,600 equals 144,000. It all came to an end in the year 2000. If you remove 2000 from 3,600, you end up with 1,600, or the year 1,600 AD, of the Nubian slave trade. This slave trade was conducted from the west coast of Africa by John Hawkins, and the people kidnapped were simply called Negro. During this trade, the Europeans took their Yorubas to the West Indies, South America and the southern states in North America, namely North and South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Virginia, etc. Their plan was to mesh them into one and stomp out the Washita and have you all mixed with each other so that you will lose your original Olmeshan, Nuban Moor identity. They spread you around from Trinidad in the south to other islands here in the north and have the Caucasus mix in with you. Now read Genesis 15 chapter 13. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And you see symbolically, the Israelites being in bondage under the Amorites were the Canaanite tribes or Euro-Americans, Amorikians, but not under the Egyptian, under Canaanites. It is clear it is speaking of this day and time. From the 1600s add on 400 years of slavery and you end up with the year 2000. But the old Israelites of their Bible in Exodus is recorded to have been in bondage not 400 years but 430 years. So the new slavery or symbolic Israelites were the new Wapians, and they passed through Al-Mahdi and Ansar because of Nasr, the name of the disciples, and Mahdi, because of the root Al-Haadi, which is Huda or the tribe of Judah. It was symbolic. So the new Wapians are to be in slavery for 400 years as in Genesis 15:13. Again, it starts with the year 1600 AD, then add 400 years and you come up with the year 2000 AD. The end of the Canaanite rule as well as the end of the last 3,600 years, for the 40th return under Ptah, whose Sumerian number is 40. And Revelation 21 tells the shape and size of this city or craft that will be seen, and in fact was confirmed to have been seen in the year 2000 AD. It's a cube-shaped city-like craft that rotates and revolves in every direction, creating a circular motion giving the appearance of an orb or sphere that is a smaller form of a Nibiru, Revelation 21 1-27. It speaks of a crystal city coming down from heaven. On it will be sitting on a central throne Re, and his blessed son Ptah will be there, and other Natstaru. And there will be no more sadness nor suffering. It will all be over for the 144,000 new Wapians that are raptured. The year 2000 AD is the year 6000 AD, for the Canaanites, being they take their Adam who is Canaan, 4,000 years before their Jesus of 2,000 years ago. 2,000 plus 4,000 is 6,000. Labana or Canaan son of Ham is the Caucasus Adam. It is recorded by them, their own theologians and Bible historians, that Canaan was born in 4004 BCE, but that happens also to be the same year that they teach was the Genesis or their beginning. It's clear they know their 6,000 years to rule was one moon cycle, broken into two 3,000-year cycles when rounded off, or as in 3,600 years. The 3,600 years and the 2,600 years equals 7,100 years. That is after their 6th day or the 6,000th year. Add 1 day more from the 6th day and you have the 7th day or the Sabbath, the day of the 7,000th year or that 1,000 year called the millennium in Revelation 21-2. The dragon Leviathan will be gone for 1,000 years after 6,000 to give us a rest or peace or Sabbath for 1,000 years, to reign with our Messiah Murdoch, Melchizedek, becoming a priest after the order of Re, and Ptah will set one free of these beasts. He will only come after those or be released against those who live by his rules and regulations. Those who accept his belief and religion, that is the blind leading the blind, having faith in their false Caucasus image of the beast, Christ, and their blasphemous religion Christianity. The Holy Tablets chapter 2, tablet 117-19, it is then that the Shams, passenger crafts, will reach the planet Earth, coming forth to you, for the rebirth of the elite few, the 144,000, from the moon base forming the six-pointed star and crescent moon in the sky as your sign. On Nibiru you had 400 species broken up into 3 sets of 144,000. You had the Agigi, the Dynir, the Rizkians, and many mixed species from different star constellations. The Christians late took the concept of the 144,000 and the rapture, used it in their Bible. If we are blocked, we shall continue to try to abduct you until the lunar logging of the 26th point, in June, when the Earth positions itself, in the location of revolution of Earth year 2030 AD, of the Gregorian calendar. This is what the so-called Christians call the rapture. So how is the Caucasus trying to kill most new Wapians? He uses what is called the kisses of death or the many faces of death. That is sexual intercourse with their seed of Canaanites, which always begins with a kiss, and kiss abbreviates Knights of the International Society of the Serpent. After that first kiss your seed is no longer pure, unmixed, meaning it is a diluted unholy seed of blackness, and eventually the person becomes a neutrinoid or a person without a race or identity. So you receive the kiss of death, and kiss when read properly from right to left spells sick. That is once you mix your bodily fluid with the Caucasu and you kiss him or her, then your whole race begins to get sick and die. Next you have the cultural death, that is when you accept the Caucasu's lifestyle, culture and recreation as your own. Idolize their games, play their games, listen to their music, watch their television shows, participate in their programs, dance their dances, etc. It is called the wannabe disease onto the cultural death, trying to talk like them, trying to walk like them, trying to act like them. All this is the cultural death. To only listen to European style music is to feel what they feel, and that is nothing. What is called music today, as a form of recreation, is doing just that, wrecking creation. What I mean is everyone's body is vibrating on a certain tone, one of the 7 notes on the scale of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This vibration is detectable and linked into the brain waves. Certain mystical groups use the tone Om, and they chant it repeatedly to attune the body into one tone or frequency. They call these chants mantra, a chant, verse, or charm of an Indian scripture. These Buddhist and other chants get you to vibrate on a frequency that will align you with the forces that will enslave your soul. After the year 1925 AD, the grid of sound or vibration of music had changed from vibrating on 8. Now it is A440, meaning the musical note A has a frequency of 440 Hz, a unit of in the centimeter gram second system, which is 1 cycle per second, or cycles per second on the 5th octave. It should be tuned to C instead of A. The Earth vibrates at 8 beats per second. That's its pulse because it's alive and has biorhythms, just like humans. This is the Om principle based on Mother Nature. However, since this telepathic influence, the musical instruments, such as the piano, have been tuned to A440, which is 55 times what it should be, and it has been sped up since 1945 AD, to 442 Hz and 443 Hz. By speeding up music, it sped up time. This is being done by malevolent, disagreeable, beings originally from Zeta Reticuli in the Orion constellation, in the 16th galaxy, but now live in the seas of Chi, Earth. Because music has been sped up is why the world is in a state of lunacy. The purpose of music today is to drive people insane. You next have the mental death. This is when you learn their history, accept their education and indoctrination. You start to think like them, work for them, in out-front positions like the general in their army, like a news reporter on their television station, like teachers and professors in their universities teaching their teachings, like marshals, sheriffs, police officers, security guards, doctors, nurses and cremators. All in the name of them and theirs. That is the mental death. Or when you speak only their language, that is the European language, so that you are restricted to only reading what they write about themselves. Next you have spiritual death. That is when you accept their belief system, their gods, their religions, their prayer systems, pray like them or with them, join their churches, let them integrate your churches or congregations, keep up with their holy rituals or simply trust them in any way in your life. That is spiritual death. Next you have a genetic death. This is when you breed mulattoes, half-breeds, mixed-seed children by them, confused kids who don't know what they are. You wipe out your whole African past and your whole historic genetic origins. This is genetic death. Next you have the financial death. This is when they get you to spend all of your wealth in their world, buy what they buy, eat at the same restaurants they like to eat, buy the kind of clothes that they like to buy and wear, drive the kind of vehicles they buy. Put your hard-earned money in their banks and investment firms. Take your vacation at the same place created for them and by them, only to steal your money and get you on welfare. Thus, depending on them and food stamps, then they say farewell, after you have been forced to put your man out of the house. This is the financial death. Next you have the physical death. This is when they give you their diseases. Cause you to drive over the speed limit and take dangerous chances with your life and your family's lives. Put the speed at 55 to 65 and then entice you to buy cars or sports cars with 120 or 160 miles per hour on speedometer, and then put racing on television every weekend to make you desire to kill yourself. Skydiving, bungee jumping, surfing with sharks. Do all kinds of unsafe and unhealthy things and call it fun. They give you drugs, alcohol, smoke, unclean and unhealthy food while they shop at Whole Foods and vegetarian markets. This is the physical death. Next you just have death. You believe in death or that you receive your pie in the sky after you die. Promises of a heaven full of material things that you have on earth. Teaching you to accept that no matter what happens to you here it will all be okay after you die. make you think you should not have nice things now, or that it is okay to live in poverty and ghettos for now because you will get all the nice things after death or hereafter lies. Not one of them, including their Jesus Christ, have come back from the dead and addressed the world openly to say, I died and I am back to tell you what's on the other side. They keep telling you Jesus spoke to me or to my heart and told me to tell you, or I say Jesus in a vision or dream in a way that there is no one to confirm it. There is no proof. No one from the dead has returned to date to confirm what they teach you in their churches, and they tell you to wait your whole life for things which the Caucasus have right now. A Caucasus heaven is a Nuwaubian hell. They live now as if they are in what their Bible or Quran calls heaven or paradise, and to doubt is parnos, paradise. In paradise, the word para is the word pure, and it means fire as in pyra as in pyramid. So they tell you when you die you are going to paradise, they mean you are going to burning fire eternally. They will be purified of you. So their paradise is your hell's fire. They live good while you live bad. They try to live as long as they can when you rush to die in order to get your reward in heaven. Wake up, black person, it is all Caucasus lies to keep you in a mental state and physical state of death. They created all the sexually transmitted diseases, then promote pornography, lust and promiscuous sex. And then lie and tell you other than the fact that the Caucasus caught these diseases by having sex with beast disease like syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and herpes. They also created AIDS. They first said it was called GRID, that was an abbreviation for gay-related immune deficiency. So their first experiments were on young white gay males. The first case in San Francisco of AIDS appeared in that city in September of 1980. Note that it is exactly 6 months after hepatitis B experiments started there in June 1981, that the AIDS epidemic became official. So the Caucasus transmitted it to Haiti and Africa by way of experimental vaccines, and they gave it to the Haitians and Africans to kill us off. The HIV virus was introduced into millions of Africans in the late 1970s during the smallpox vaccine eradication program, sponsored by the World Health Organization, WHO. These vaccines were contaminated with a fatal serum that was related to AIDS, and now millions of Negro, blacks and African heterosexuals are infected with the HIV virus. This could not have come from the simple act of sex with a green monkey, creating the lie of the green monkey virus, saying that the virus was jumping over from America to infect from one African in the late 1970s to spread all over Africa to tribes that have no contact with each other. Simply lies. If that were the case, it would have done the same thing in the USA to the original Caucasus infected. But it is a known fact that millions of Africans have made the mistake of trusting such organizations as the Red Cross, Christian missionary organizations, CARE, and use the World Health Organization with its mass inoculation programs for contamination. And these events were not accidental, they are deliberate instances of mass genocide to Nuwaubians, to try to balance the loss of their Caucasus population. Also, they start wars for that same reason and put ethnics in the front line. They are fading away and seek to take you with them. Be on your guard against their many faces of death, their promiscuous sex, drugs, drink and violence just to attract Nuwaubian youth to kill them. Turn away from them. Don't be seduced by their sex games that makes you disrespect your women, call them all kinds of curse words and names, and try to have sex with as many as you can without marriage, while they spread the killers amongst you. The Holy Tablets chapter 10, tablet 12 verses 402 to 407. The Tamahu race is using all the tricks available to keep you from regaining liberty, equality, justice and rightness. But when you get a hold of right knowledge and accept it, your wisdom and understanding grow. And that person is able to see all the tricks of the oppressor, and take the right steps to avoid them by the forces of nature.